good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm excited that you chose to hang out with me yet another Wednesday as we try our best to unearth wisdom on Wednesday. And I'm Ray. I really appreciate the time you spent with me as our channel continues to grow, as we continue to share, as we continue to like, as we continue to comment. I'm super grateful for you investing your time. Podcasts aren't long, but it's still your time, and I appreciate you loaning just a little bit of it to me so that we can continue to try to put out content that will encourage people. Now, today, I wanted to talk about an issue that's near and dear to me. Hopefully, it'll be something that'll be encouraging to all of us. So wise people, we have to understand that kindness is not a sign of weakness. Kindness is not a sign of weakness. Far too often, many people are labeled as soft. Many people are labeled as even aloof, not really understanding when they're being insulted or not really understanding when they're being taken advantage of. But there's a superhero power called kindness, to where many people don't recognize that some of the most kind people, the most patient people, the people who will do anything for you or give the shirt off of their back are people who've gone through some of the worst trauma in their lives. Many adults who love children didn't experience that type of love or adoration and attention when they were children. They're some of the most kind people you'll ever be around. Some of the people who've actually been through the penal system, have been through juvenile, they've been through some very hard upbringing. Now that they're free, they have an appreciation of life, and they're just some of the kindest, hardworking, sweetest people you'll ever find. There's also a different demographic. There's people who train to be a monster under control. A monster under control is what I said. There's no power in just being kind because you're afraid to be strong. But the superpower is in recognizing that you're training to be a monster, that you can be diabolical, that you can actually hurt people. But your discipline is to make certain that you maintain your control, that you maintain your coolness, that you maintain your kind spirit. You see, it's easy just to be kind because you want people to like you, but there's a different animal to know that you're not going to let the animal inside of you come out. So you choose kindness. Again, I remind you, wise people, kindness is not a weakness. Kindness is actually a strength. Kindness is a strength not giving full vent to your anger, as the Bible reminds us. Kindness is not shutting your mouth when people don't give you back or reciprocate what you've given unto them. Kindness is when you know someone is taking advantage of you and you still continue to be a child of God. There's some people who actually will try their best to manipulate you and try to take advantage of your kindness, just trying to poke the bear. You heard the term before? It's very difficult for people to control you if they haven't seen you lose control. So normally when you're walking around and you're calm, you're cool, you're collected, and you're a kind soul, that unearths some people. That makes some people nervous because they can't control you through your emotions. They can't upset you so you can lose control. They can't make you speak the way you used to speak years ago. They can't make you put hands on anybody the way you used to years ago. You see, being kind is actually a person who's in control, a person who knows how to manage their emotions, a person who knows not to retaliate when people don't treat you properly. That you know how to resolve, you know how to collect your thoughts, you know how to talk to the Lord about your anger. The Bible says that be angry, but sin not. A kind person considers other people before themselves. A kind person recognizes that I'm not going to give back to that person what they've given to me because I don't have the full intel of what they've been going through to get to this point. You see, I know some people who they go into traffic and they wave one of their digits at people in traffic. They call these people all types of names, people they don't even know. But just because of traffic, just because of a small inconvenience, just because somebody won't allow you to get to your destination at the time you want to get there, if they don't turn appropriately, if they don't turn fast enough, you get the gist. That traffic can make some of the worst emotions come out of people. But oftentimes, traffic isn't the thing that has you upset. It was that argument that you didn't have with your husband that you wanted to have, but you kept it in your head. And when you got into the street, you let it out. It wasn't traffic. It was that teenager who pushed your buttons, who asked you just to be the chauffeur, but they don't want to let you into their lives anymore. You understand? Sometimes when you suppress the way you feel, that emotion will come out on people who it's not warranted to give. But when we don't trust the emotions that we have in us, we unleash those emotions on other people. A kind person isn't a person who's a dummy. A kind person is a person who's not wise. A kind person is a person who chooses to love people. A kind person is a person who chooses to hold the door for an elderly woman or any woman. A kind person is one that puts others before themselves. A kind person is somebody who makes certain that they can smile when they say hello. A kind person recognizes that other people have wants and they have desires and they have needs. A kind person put those things before their own needs. I love the fact that you find kind mothers who were diagnosed that they couldn't have children, but they just loved children with everything in them. They didn't have their own children, but they took care of other people's children. They didn't have their own children, but they nursed other people's children. They rocked people's babies to sleep. There's a kindness when it comes from a hurt place. There's people that are lonely, but they're some of the kindest people that you'll ever meet. Not because they're projecting their loneliness on other people and they want everybody else to feel bad, but because they have not received it, they choose to give it. You see, wise people, it doesn't hurt and it doesn't cost anything to be kind to people. What happens though, when you are kind to people, the reflection of your heart is shown on your face. When you're kind to people, the things that your personality is made up of come out through your actions. But oftentimes, if you're pretending to be kind, if you're only kind to people that are kind to you, we call that a hypocrite, an actor, somebody who's trying to pretend and play the part. But ultimately, if your true nature is kindness, you're going to go through some things. Doesn't mean you won't be upset sometimes. Please don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But there will be times where you have a full opportunity to give vent to your anger. You have full opportunity to be sarcastic and a smart mouth. But a kind person evaluates their thoughts before the words come out of their mouths. Some people like myself, Ray Anthony Ruffin Jr., I have a smart mouth and I'm in treatment. Sometimes our sarcasm can really hurt people. And it's not the fact that we're initially intentionally trying to hurt people, but a kind person is aware of their strengths that will possibly hurt other people. A kind person considers their strengths that can hurt other people's weaknesses. So a kind person considers others before they say what they want to say. They just have to say it. You have a choice if you want to say something. You have a choice of how you want to react. And my admonition is to you today is try your best to be as kind as possible. We all have this one resource that's the most valuable resource that anybody has, and it's called time. Time is something that was given to you and you don't know how long you'll have it, but you're responsible for being a good steward over it. Time is the most expensive resource that we have, the most precious commodity that we have. And while you have this time that someone gave to you, that you have to be a good steward over it and you don't know when it's going to run out, what are you going to do with your time? Are you going to be mad all the time? Are you going to be angry all the time? Are you going to be despondent all the time? Or are you going to choose to be kind? All the days of my life, I want to be in a space to where I make other people's day better. I pray this prayer in the mornings. Lord, please allow me to be sensitive to not miss my assignment today. While I'm in that assignment, allow them not to see me, but to see you in me. And I choose my best to represent Christ wherever I go. I fall every day and I make mistakes, but my choice, my pattern of life, my direction is to be kind, to check on people, to see about people's needs, to find out what's going on in their lives. Am I tired like everybody else? Absolutely. But this is the way I look at it. What if nobody's checking on those people? What if nobody's encouraging them? What if nobody sent a text to say, I'm proud of you? So I think that my plight in life to be kind to people is to let them know I'm proud of you. I'm excited that you got up today. I'm excited that you came to worship today. I'm excited that you came and you gave God your best. I'm proud of you. But unfortunately, many people have scars from their past and they don't trust people's kindness. Sometimes people think you're kind and you're up to something. Some people think that you're kind and you have an agenda. Some people will project what they've experienced on your genuine kindness. And that's fine. The best part about being kind is that you learn to be patient and you learn to suffer with people. Many times disagreements will not outlast the relationship. So if you're invested in the relationship and you're trying your best to be kind and people see that you're consistently kind, prayerfully that they will learn to understand this is who you are and that you can grow to help that person trust again, that people can learn to see that everybody's not your enemy. Everybody not a person who has an agenda. Everybody doesn't have something up their sleeve. So ultimately, wise friends, my ask of you today, how kind are you? Not by your own measurement, but if somebody asked your coworkers, if somebody asked the people that go to your church, if people asked your family members, if people asked your spouse, are you a kind person? Are you a person that's only kind when people are kind to you? Let's get to work, wise people. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for liking this video. Please leave some suggestions in the comments. Talk back to me if you can, so we can continue to share this video and the algorithm will keep pushing it out. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you spending this 15 minutes with me, and I pray you have a wonderful day and a blessed week. Take care.